Gaffer, a well-deserved victory today. What's your assessment of that win over MK Dons?
Yeah, it was a well-deserved victory. I think it's always difficult when a team goes down to 10 men. They changed their formation a couple of times. I think we could have helped ourselves if we'd have perhaps played a little bit smarter when they went down to 10 men. But I actually think before it went down to having 10 men, I think we should have put the game to bed. You know, I know we were 2-0 up by half-time, but I definitely think, you know, there was more than a 2-0 difference in the first half. I thought we were good today, but I think that's if we'd have been anything like that last week, we would have won last week as well. But unfortunately, we didn't. But you know, today, and we've had some setbacks again today. You know, we had setbacks before the game. We've had setbacks during the game again. So, you know, it's all a testament, I think, to the players and to their character.
You said that you were disappointed with last week and you need to put it behind us. But you mentioned setbacks before the game, Julian Costa having a setback and Tom Flanagan being suspended, then losing Pennington during the game. Yeah. But how impressed are you that you got that response? You did put it behind you, you got the win.
Yeah, we did. I mean, obviously I'm pleased with it. You know, you can't go through 96 minutes without, you know, a few scares. I mean, I don't think they would have scored their goal from a set play had Pennington still been on the pitch. But what happens is, when you lose one of your headers, everything drops down a notch. And when they get the goal as early as they do, that all of a sudden, you know, makes our thinking a little bit nervous. I think we settled down fine on a few occasions. I actually think just before their goal, we could have kept the ball better than we did in them first few moments of the second half. But look, you know, a win's a win, and we're talking about MK Dons here. MK Dons are a good team. Make no bones about that. You know, they're just going through a tough patch at the moment, but I'm sure they'll come out of it.
Tom Bayliss, he's now got 2 goals and 2 assists in the past 6 games. He's obviously got more to his game, but how pleasing is it to have a midfielder contributing that much in goals and assists? Yeah,
no, well, we're obviously pleased with him. You know, those stats that you've just drummed up there, I suppose what I should be asking him was what was he doing in the 6 games before it? But no, obviously Tom, I think, you know, everyone can see Tom's quality, and he can beat a couple of people in a phone box, Tom. He's got great feet. And we have to keep on top of him to make sure he does all the mucky stuff. And when he does that, I think he's a good player.
Harry Burgoyne's had to come in, fill some big shoes since Mark has been injured. He hadn't played a league game since the end of the season before last. Yeah. How impressed have you been with how he's come in and how he's conducted himself?
I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it, when you're the reserve goalkeeper? It's a difficult one because, you know, you end up getting thrown in when you're not expecting it. And people can say, well, you know, that's okay. The reserve goalkeeper, or the number 2 goalkeeper, should I say, has always got to be prepared. It's very hard preparing for a match when you're the number 2 goalkeeper. So, yeah, I've been really, really pleased with Harry, and for him as well, because it's a long time sat on the bench. You know, he has proved that he's our number 1 goalkeeper and has been outstanding. So probably in the last few weeks, Harry probably thinks there's no chance of him getting a game. But he's been ready, and Brian Jensen's worked very hard with him in the last couple of weeks, like he does with Marco and like he does with all the goalkeepers. But I think, you know, in doing a good job and preparing him, and so have the rest of the staff as well. You know, we've had a real couple of tough weeks, and I think the players have shown great character. I think the staff, my immediate staff, I think they've been absolutely superb. In the last 2 weeks, I couldn't ask anything more off of any of them. They've gone over and beyond for me and for the players in preparing them. So, yeah, it's been a really good team effort.
Jordan Shipley's had a big week, a baby girl to start it off and a goal to end it off as well.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Bayliss scores, so Shipley has to. But yeah, I know they're big pals, so I'm sure that'll be quite good for them driving home in the car tonight. And yeah, you know, Jordan's obviously become a father again. You know, a lovely little girl. And as I said before, you know, hopefully everything's gone okay, and mum and baby are fine, which we did know that last week.
And then just finally, Josh Bailey's obviously been up training with you, an academy lad, but he made the league squad for the first time today. How impressed have you been with his progress just at training, and how he's been conducting himself around the first team?
Well, to be fair, all of them conduct themselves very, very well when they come up and train with us. So I think there's always, you know, a pathway for them to come up and train with the first team. And Josh today was sub on merit. He was sub on merit. And, you know, maybe if something would have been not quite right with Jordan Shipley at the end, he might have found himself on the pitch. And therefore we can look back at those Port Vale games when he ends up playing that night against a very, very experienced right wing back in Worrell and competed very, very well. So even though there's a sufferance period in those JPT games, I would have never known whether I could have put him on today if I hadn't seen that evening. So even though it's tough to sit through it when we're getting beat at night, you find a couple of players you'd never know you would have had. So yeah, I mean, I'm pleased for him, and he's a great boy in and around. He's really, really quiet. So I deliberately talk to him a lot, so he talks back to me, because he's very, very quiet. It's not just me. He's very, very quiet boy, but he's quick. He's got great thighs, strong, lovely lad. Just got to get him to be a bit more horrible, haven't I? That shouldn't take long.
Thanks, Gaffer.
Okay.